You know, we've been working hard for a long time, you know what I mean? And this is basically makes me happy, and to see my dad that he's able to buy himself, you know, a house with a big private gym. I know there's a lot of things that we could accomplish, and there's a lot of things that we could give back, not only to our people, but to our community, you know what I mean? We got a lot of fighters here. One of our friends painted this. He goes to the first Benavidez boxing gym, the one in Burien. He paints them all himself, so he's a talented brother. So but yeah, this is my dad's design, you know what I mean? This is actually my first time, you know, starting training camp here in this gym.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez are reportedly training together as both fighters prepare for their highly anticipated comeback bouts. The shared training camp has immediately attracted attention, with Gervonta Davis and David Benavidez working side by side as they get ready for the next chapter of their boxing careers.
10 seconds. Super focused, super motivated.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
According to Fan and Boxing, Gervonta Davis has officially parted ways with longtime trainer Calvin Ford and has joined forces with Jose Benavidez Sr. for this training camp. This surprising move has sparked major discussion throughout the boxing world, with many wondering how the partnership between Gervonta Davis and Jose Benavidez Sr. could influence Gervonta Davis's motivation, preparation, and overall development inside the ring.
And it seems like it's official that Gervonta Davis has a new trainer named Jose Benavidez. In this video, though, because there's a lot of conversations going on about what this means for Gervonta Davis as far as his skill set, as far as like his motivation to be in boxing, and whether or not Jose Benavidez Sr. can ignite that fire in Gervonta Davis. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about a real reason for what took place in Gervonta Davis's camp. And one of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say, because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta Davis.
The report also claims that serious tension developed behind the scenes after alleged paid informants infiltrated Gervonta Davis's inner circle. According to the story, trusted individuals were accused of leaking confidential information from Gervonta Davis's training camp in exchange for financial gain, creating an atmosphere of mistrust and internal conflict within Gervonta Davis's team.
I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money. So Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself, and saying, man, where is this coming from?
According to the same account, these internal issues had reportedly been building for years, forcing Gervonta Davis's team to tighten security and prevent further information leaks. The report suggests that strict communication policies and a near-complete media blackout were introduced in an effort to protect Gervonta Davis's focus, privacy, and peace of mind throughout training camp.
Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it, and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several years ago.
The report further alleges that the information leaks extended far beyond simple rumors, claiming that individuals connected to Gervonta Davis's camp were using private details and social media to damage Gervonta Davis's reputation from within. The speaker even compares the alleged behind-the-scenes tactics to the psychological warfare that has been seen during some of boxing's most famous rivalries, suggesting the situation became as much a mental battle as a physical one.
However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful. Now, if you think, okay, well, man, that's not that big a deal. You go and, people know, it happens all the time where you have spies in camp. Like one particular incident that I know about that really enlightened me to that problem in boxing was when Andre Ward was fighting Sergey Kovalev, and Andre Ward was just being very vocal about knowing what was going on with John David Jackson and what was going on with Sergey Kovalev. And he was telling basically, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're drinking this and you're drinking this and you're doing that, and your problem was here and your problem is there. Andre Ward knew the whole thing. How? Because he had a spy in the camp. The problem with that with Gervonta is when you have spies around him in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to harm.
Sean Porter shared his thoughts on the unusual training arrangement, suggesting that Gervonta Davis may actually thrive in the intense, fast-moving atmosphere created by training alongside David Benavidez. Sean Porter questioned whether the shared aggression, competitive mindset, and constant energy inside the camp could be exactly the environment that keeps Gervonta Davis fully engaged and motivated.
I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
It's Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle,
and
Washington,
Florida.
Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis,
Yeah, surprising to see it. I think, but I feel like he's comfortable with Jose.
Sean Porter also emphasized that elite fighters often need a special connection with their trainer to keep their competitive fire burning. According to Sean Porter, the new partnership between Gervonta Davis and Jose Benavidez Sr. could provide that missing spark, creating a situation where trainer and fighter operate with complete trust, clear communication, and a shared vision inside the gym.
And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's gonna get this light flipped up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to
seeing
move
that
when
stuff.
he wants to move.
Yeah.
Anthony Bernat questioned the logic behind the surprising partnership, arguing that the move naturally creates skepticism because Jose Benavidez Sr. built much of Jose Benavidez Sr.'s reputation, working with family members. The discussion centered on whether Jose Benavidez Sr. can recreate that same success and chemistry with Gervonta Davis, an established champion entering a completely different stage of Gervonta Davis's career.
That's a weird one for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. You know, Pacheco isn't with them,
And they both are going.
Yeah.
And yeah, they both are.
Yeah.
Turning to the reported split, Sean Zittle admitted that the falling out between Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford is difficult to understand from the outside because Calvin Ford played a massive role in shaping Gervonta Davis into a world champion. Sean Zittle pointed to Calvin Ford's track record developing fighters from the ground up and praised the distinctive style, discipline, and confidence that Calvin Ford helped build throughout Gervonta Davis's rise.
It's their business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford. Really, I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like
That made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck. You know, much love to you, but when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent. He has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning, and he wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy, anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin's work.
Sean Zittle concluded by remembering the periods when Calvin Ford was often viewed as the one person capable of pulling Gervonta Davis out of difficult moments in training and restoring Gervonta Davis's focus and confidence. That history makes the current separation feel even more surprising, leaving many people wondering how a relationship built on years of trust, loyalty, and championship success could ultimately fall apart.
I just remember Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym, and he didn't that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had wait to wire. He had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, he the spark started and the light came on, and I was like, that's a bond. And I don't know. I'm just, it's I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. Right. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. Right. But hey,
Gervonta Davis has officially begun an intense training camp alongside Jose Benavidez Sr., but uncertainty still surrounds Gervonta Davis's immediate future. Rumors initially suggested that a blockbuster fight between Gervonta Davis and Kid Austin had already been finalized, yet no official announcement has confirmed the matchup, leaving fans eagerly waiting to learn who Gervonta Davis will face next.
Davis and Floyd Schofield are edging a little bit closer to a fight. What are you hearing from that end?
Yeah, I'm hearing all positive. I'm hearing these negotiations have been progressing in a very positive way between the sides of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield. Now, we have not seen Gervonta Davis in the ring since that disputed draw against Lamont Roach early last year. We have not seen Floyd Schofield in the ring since the stunning one-round knockout over Tevin Farmer last June. There were some plans back in April to get Floyd Schofield into the ring, but he and his father, who's also his manager, who's also his co-trainer, they said, we don't want any kind of stay busy fight. We want a world title fight, and they want that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I am told a lot of positive progress to the point that they're discussing dates for this fight. They're discussing September, late September, or early October to match Floyd Schofield against Gervonta Davis for that WBA 135-pound title.
All right, I got one more for you.
Adding even more excitement to the speculation, Gervonta Davis grabbed headlines by sending a bold warning to both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, making it clear that Gervonta Davis is ready for any challenge. Gervonta Davis's comments immediately sparked debate across the boxing world, with fans wondering whether Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or another top contender will eventually become Gervonta Davis's next opponent.
I said to this, right? And I don't hide it. I said that I think that there's 3 people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
Yeah,
right.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I feel you, but check this right there. But okay, so you telling me you cracked both of them, right? But I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session. He didn't get no best of me. He did not get no best of me.
He jumped right off the plane and sparred Devin. Right off the plane.
No best of me. He didn't get no best of me.
Let me
something, man. You can go on the internet. And you know I sparred him twice.
Right. And Bill
took him out the ring.
And Bill admitted that. Bill and Dad both said that.
Almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you I knocked him out in the gym? Did they tell you that?
I don't know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't hear that.
Floyd Schofield Sr. responded with sharp criticism, accusing Gervonta Davis of using public callouts and social media activity to distract fans from bigger questions surrounding Gervonta Davis's career. According to Floyd Schofield Sr., Gervonta Davis's recent comments are an attempt to shift attention away from discussions about Gervonta Davis's mandatory challenger, creating even more controversy around Gervonta Davis's future plans.
It's a duck. A duck is a duck. He just needed a big diversion to make people believe and look away from him ducking his mandatory person. He ducked us before he had the Roach fight too. He ducked us over a year. So a duck is a duck. That's all I have to say. Because if Keyshawn's supposed to be fighting Devin, why he calling out Devin? If he not moving up to fight Shakur, why he calling out Shakur? And he has a mandatory, so he preferred to give up his belt. So thank you. We have no problem becoming a world champion. The boogeyman left. He ran. So that's all that shit is smoke and mirrors. They've been calling each other out for years now. All of them. Has it ever happened?
I don't think it's happening now.
So this is just a diversion so people don't look at him like, yo, you really ducked your mandatory.
Floyd Schofield Sr. continued his criticism by arguing that the modern focus on fame, publicity, and financial rewards is damaging the traditional values of boxing. Floyd Schofield Sr. claimed that if Gervonta Davis were to vacate a world title instead of facing the top contenders, it would send the wrong message to young fighters working their way through the amateur and professional ranks, encouraging debate about what true championship responsibility should look like in today's sport.
And that's acceptable. For the YouTubers, yeah, I get y'all. It's about money. It's about fame. Yeah, that's the Floyd Mayweather era. That's the era that's fading out. We of the era that you work your way up to number one, you fight the champion. Because that's what gives hope to these kids in the hood or these kids going through the amateurs. The hope when they get to number one in the ranking, they can have their chance at fighting for a world title. You take that away, then you destroy boxing. So, smoke and mirrors, man. The man gave up his title and hauled ass.
In the middle of all the speculation, Devin Haney added even more intrigue by posting a series of cryptic messages on social media that immediately caught the attention of boxing fans. Devin Haney first posted an excited "Let's go" before following it with a direct Haney versus Davis message, and Devin Haney later quoted Devin Haney's own post with the word key, leading many fans to believe Devin Haney was teasing a future showdown with Keyshawn Davis. Despite the growing excitement surrounding Devin Haney, Keyshawn Davis, and the ongoing rumors involving Gervonta Davis, there is still no official confirmation regarding Gervonta Davis's next opponent. At the same time, David Benavidez shifted attention to David Benavidez's own future by expressing David Benavidez's desire to face Dimitri Bivol, making it clear that David Benavidez wants to dominate the light heavyweight division and pursue the biggest legacy-defining fights available.
Yeah, 100%. We're going after Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, that's it.
I told you guys that's what I got. That's what I wanted to do, and just so the fans they have something to look up to. That's look forward to. That's why I give you guys my breakdowns, what I'm trying to do, what are my plans. And I told you guys I was gonna come back down and fight Bivol, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I won 2 more titles at cruiserweight. Now it's time to capture the rest of the titles at light heavyweight.
Addressing speculation about moving up in weight, David Benavidez dismissed the idea of competing at heavyweight anytime soon, explaining that David Benavidez remains fully focused on establishing David Benavidez's dominance at 175 pounds. David Benavidez emphasized that David Benavidez's immediate goal is to challenge and defeat the best fighters in the light heavyweight division, including Artur Beterbiev, before considering any move to a heavier weight class.
And I hear a lot of people talking about heavyweight, but these are big guys. This is an extremely different type of power. So I'm not thinking about heavyweight anytime soon. If I think of heavyweight, maybe that's probably by 5-6 years. But what I really wanted to do is I want to become unified champion at 175 and become a dominant champion at 175. I've been telling you guys I want to get Dimitri Bivol, then Artur Beterbiev. And I know those are two fights that all the world of boxing wants to see. So right now that I can make 175 comfortably, I feel like we got to make that happen first.
The conversation became even more interesting when Jai Opetaia publicly called out David Benavidez, creating fresh excitement across the boxing world. Jai Opetaia's challenge immediately raised questions about whether David Benavidez might temporarily leave David Benavidez's plans at light heavyweight to pursue a high-profile cruiserweight showdown. However, despite Jai Opetaia's call-out, there is still no official confirmation regarding David Benavidez's next opponent, leaving fans eagerly waiting for the next announcement.
Definitely. That's the main fight I'm chasing. That is my goal right now. You know what I mean? And until I win that WBO and that WBA and the WBC as well, you know what I mean? That's my goal. You know what I mean? Anyone that says anything else, fine. I want to become undisputed in the cruiserweight division.
The future of boxing continues to evolve as Gervonta Davis, Devin Haney, and David Benavidez each make major career decisions that could shape the sport for years to come. Gervonta Davis has restructured Gervonta Davis's training camp by working with Jose Benavidez Sr. Devin Haney has fueled speculation with intriguing social media posts about future matchups, and David Benavidez remains focused on conquering the light heavyweight division while targeting the biggest names available. Every decision these fighters make carries enormous significance, with potential rivalries becoming increasingly personal both inside and outside the ring. As speculation continues surrounding Jai Opetaia, Dimitri Bivol, Artur Beterbiev, Keyshawn Davis, and several other elite fighters, boxing fans are eagerly anticipating what could become one of the most exciting periods in recent memory. What do you think about Gervonta Davis joining forces with Jose Benavidez Sr.? Do you believe this new partnership will improve Gervonta Davis's performances? Can Devin Haney and Keyshawn Davis deliver the blockbuster fight fans are hoping for? Will David Benavidez eventually secure a showdown with Dimitri Bivol? Or should David Benavidez accept Jai Opetaia's challenge instead? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more boxing news, analysis, and fight updates.